Wednesday, and it's going to be Wednesday ramblings. That means no stumblings, no grumblings, no amblings, no stumblings, just Wednesday ramblings. Hi, this is Anna from Post Me a Book. So now, just this clip, I'm just going to do a quick update and into what I'm reading. Because I'm not reading very many books, it's not going to be very long, and because I haven't got very far with the books I'm reading, it's still not going to be very long. However, I am on track with my plan because I actually decided that I'm not going to put any limits on when I finish these books. It just doesn't work. So I finish them when I finish them, and hopefully it will not take forever. However, let me just get right into the books that I'm reading. So the one that I was reading last time was, which I'm still reading now, The Emperor of Silence. Gone on and on and on about this book. But I have to say, it's a good book. I'm actually really enjoying this book. And it has made me have to rethink what I said, I think, in my last clip, that I'm the kind of person who can't sit down and just read a book non-stop. This book is potentially one of those books that I can actually read and just read. However, I have been forced to put it down because obviously I've got to do other things. So I've gotten a little bit further. The story so far is about Hadrian, and I do know now that he is on the planet Earth. His dad happens to be, well, let's call him his father because they call them fathers, not that close, so they become fathers. His father happens to be one of the wealthiest people on the planet because he owns a mine that draws uranium. And this obviously, or it seems to be what seems to be very important on Earth. So Hadrian in himself is, they're royalty. So Hadrian himself is also royalty. However, he seems to be the two sons, Hadrian and his brother, whose name I've forgotten for now, but anyway, his brother's younger than him. And it seems that Hadrian's the first in line for the throne, as far as he knows, at the beginning of the book, because he's the eldest of the sons. He's the main character, and albeit he's first in line for the throne, he doesn't really follow, he doesn't have the same kind of, I suppose you could call it ruthlessness as his father. He doesn't have that aggression to just move forwards and to have more power and all this. He sort of has a heart, if you could, yeah, he has a heart. So he feels for other people, which works against him a little bit. However, as I said, I haven't got very far. I am now page 91. A bit has happened, but I won't quite go into that too much because I haven't read that much and I don't want to give away the story when I haven't got the whole story. So if I go chapter by chapter saying what it is, then you're just giving away the whole story. However, let me just say that this is a good book. I am enjoying it. I am surprised that I'm enjoying it as much as I am. It's very, very easy to read. It's one of these books that you just turn the page. Certainly a good one for me. So that's Empire Silence. Then I've got a little bit further in the Steve Biko, but I haven't actually got that far. The story so far, Steve Biko was a South African black activist who was born in 1946, died in 1977. In this book, it's his writings about, well, it's his writings. And at the beginning of the book, he's talk about how he became, or he's giving a little bit of a picture about his presidency as this in the organization of SASO, South African Students Organization, which was a student body which was made, well, it was kind of breakaway from the NUSA, NUSA, National Union Students Organization, which was the main students' body that represented South African universities. And Steve Biko's SASO was a kind of breakaway because it was made, or it was formed to represent students that were not white, quite simply, because as he felt that the main student body, NUSA, did not represent the interests of the non-whites. It was very much the leaders in that group were whites. They represented their ideas, their interests first, and then they always came back to those who are non-white, and asked them, well, what do you think? How should we promote South Africans who are not white? And he, according to Steve Biko, it was just the same old question that never actually led anywhere. So that was partly why they formed this other student body. And he talks about, in the beginning, he talks about the barriers that were facing them to build their student body, SASO. And part of it was, of course, the regime was an Apatheid regime. So it was always trying to crush any opposition that might have come up from non-white people. And that's, so far, I haven't got very far at all. So that so far is what I have understood. It's also a very interesting book. So this one, I think I'm looking forward to, absolutely, to reading this book. And I have been, as I've said, been needing to read it for a very, very long time. So that one, and it's also not very difficult to read. It's quite short. And because it's writings, it's also easier to get through. So that's that one. And then the third book that I'd started to join those two is It's About Damn Time by Arlan Hamilton. She's an entrepreneur. She does a lot of YouTube clips. And I discovered her, can't quite remember. I discovered her through watching another YouTube of Tiffany Achille, I think she's called. But anyway, this book is Arlan Hamilton's story about how she turned her life around from being homeless to how she made $1 million. So it's from where she was homeless, living in the airport and things like that. I have not got very far with this book, but I do know a bit of a story in it because I watched a lot of her clips now. But I'm also looking very forward to reading this book because she says that it's good to have an understanding of how she managed to get that far. Oh wait, I think the light's in this. Yeah, there. So also looking forward to actually reading this book to the end. I'm just going to press this. I had a little box coming up saying I was low battery, so I better not ramble on when I don't really have anything much to say. But I do have another book that I started a long time ago. This one is an old book. This one, I don't know. It was my brother's looking at the signature in the book. I think he must have bought this a long time ago. It's even quite discolored. But I have a little thing going for books that are old, but that have been in our hands for a while and they become a bit discolored and you see the pages are well worn. But anyway, back to book. Yeah. Foucault's Pendulum, it's called. And this was Umberto Eco. I haven't read a book by Umberto Eco before, but I have seen The Name of the Rose, which I thought was an excellent film. Sean Connery was the main actor. Excellent film. So I thought I'll read this one. In the beginning, it felt like a very difficult book. The print is so small, so I think I started this one way back when I still didn't need glasses because now I cannot read this print without glasses. It just will not work. But it's also, I can't even tell you, because it's a long time since I started this book, I can't even tell you what it's about. It's actually not a difficult book to read. That much I know. And it actually is an interesting book to read, but I might have to go back to the beginning and read it up to where I stopped in order to, to remember what the book is about. But it actually is an interesting book because it starts in a very good way. I suppose it's a bit of a thriller or a bit of a mystery, I suppose. It's a historical book. I can't quite remember what year, but they do talk about the night, no, what are they called? I forget what they're called. I'll come back to it when I've read a bit more. Otherwise, this will just get a bit too long. But this one I'm going to read on the side. And this one's going to take me a bit longer just because it's not the main book that I'm reading, but also a good book. Yeah, and that was it. So I'll go back to enjoying my Wednesday, which is actually very nice. It's a very nice day. Autumn has kicked in, and I have the pleasure of actually making a clip upstairs. The kids they haven't yet. Well, they have come home, but they're somewhere else. So that's why I can make a clip up here. Otherwise, it's normally people rushing or moving back and forth or noise is going in the background or music playing, so it doesn't work. That's why I'm almost down in the dungeons secretly doing this. But anyway, it's been nice. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bye bye.